getting ready to for the big Dragon Con blood drive. He's getting ready for the big Dragon Con blood drive up in Atlanta. He's brought to you by the good folks at Pin Flooring, Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, and Just Ship. Galen, the Northeast really found out what a day in the life of the Atlantic Basin and the Gulf Coast Basin is, as Ida wreaked havoc yesterday. Flash floods throughout Ohio, Pennsylvania, tornadoes in New Jersey, the New York City proper area, the 5 boroughs under a tornado warning 3 different times yesterday. Sustained winds of 65, 70 miles an hour, ripping through the metropolitan areas of Philadelphia, New York. Now it's going to go through Boston, flash flood warnings all through Massachusetts. This is a place, when you see the devastation this storm has caused up there, it reminds me of 1992 with Andrew, because that's when we, Florida, went and redid it, all of its code enforcement and everything, and how buildings should be built and everything. Those buildings up in the Northeast, in the Philadelphia area, the New York area, they're not built to sustain 70, 80 mile an hour winds for 12, 15 hours at a time.
Well, again, I think it's just one of those freak storms that just popped up out of nowhere and hit us all right between the eyes.
72 hours, it went from a tropical disturbance to a Category 4 hurricane in less than 72 hours. That's packing a punch.
Sure is. Sure is.
And they thought
we still don't know the extent of the damage in New Orleans or Louisiana.
No, exactly. The Northeast is, everybody's acting like the Northeast is under this. It was 2 days ago the same thing was happening in Louisiana, happening in New Orleans, in that area. And it was supposed to go, and they thought it would go more towards the Appalachian Mountains, but it stayed north of the Appalachian Mountains, so it had nothing to rip it apart. And, I mean, it was a Category 1 hurricane as it went through Maryland.
Yeah, and Maryland's not known to be a hurricane place. And, if you've ever traveled all over and they're like, oh, how can you live in Florida with all these hurricanes? Like that? How can you live in Oklahoma with all these tornadoes?
Yeah.
You get warnings with hurricanes. And these people didn't know it was coming, right? I mean, there was no doubt they had plenty of time to prepare. And, they should have been fine.
They just thought, they didn't think it would be this ferocious. They thought by the time it got to them coming across the country, it would have lost some of its power. And they expected it to be like a tropical depression or something. And it was still, right there, tropical storm force, hurricane force, as early as yesterday afternoon around noon. So, it's one of those things we deal with on a regular basis. But up in the Northeast, I talked to a friend of mine last night that lives in Worcester, Mass. She was frightened. She was like, I what should I do? Do I need to just go to Maine or something? I was like, look, you live on the side of you live in Worcester, you live on the side of a big hill. I know where she lives. I go, just put some boards over your windows and hope for the best.
I mean, Category 1, you don't even need boards.
Yeah, I just tried to do that. I was giving her and her husband something to do.
Any window in the last 50 years is going to be able to sustain a 45 to 70 mile an hour wind.
Yeah, but I the fun of knowing they probably went out and were putting plywood on last night at 9 o'clock makes me feel good. So,
All right, good.
Makes me
good
feel
for you.
Good friends of mine. You can tell, right? Very good friends of mine.
Yeah, really. Yeah. They called the only person they knew who was dumb enough to live in Florida.
Yeah, well.
And also, I don't feel bad at all, because people in the Northeast think anybody who lives south of D.C. is a dummy. Generally speaking, they think you're pretty much a moron.
Yeah, well, are they better than us? And anybody who lives above D.C., isn't that technically Canada?
Well, my Red Sox aren't in Canada, but it's pretty close, and Maine is beautiful. I absolutely love Maine.
You had to get the Red Sox in there. I was wondering when you'd get the Red Sox in there, because they snapped a 9-game win streak by the Rays last night.
It was finally good extra base hit, late inning hit there by TK. Again, I don't know. I don't know what. I'm not. A nor'easter does far more damage up there than a hurricane.
Yeah.
And they get nor'easters all the time.
Certainly.
But you call it something different and people freak out.
Right. Basically, a hurricane is a nor'easter, just not in the wintertime.
Correct. And it's much more powerful usually.
Right.
Nor'easters are not even tropical storms.
Right. They're 35 to 40 mile an hour winds. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's fine. It's fine.
So 12:48 a.m. Thursday morning. I get up. I've slept about an hour. My back gets me up, and I go, well, I went to bed. It was 2-2. I went to bed. I mean, it was 2-0. So I'll turn it on and see what the score is. 12:48 a.m. It's 3-2. 12:51 a.m. The game's over. 4-3. Dodgers win. I may be a bad luck charm for the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, stay asleep.
I turn the TV on, 2 runs in 3 minutes, game over. I may be the bad luck for the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, absolutely correct. Yeah, I think there's some truth to that. I do. I think you should never watch a Braves game again.
You may have something. You may have something there. The best chance for them to win the pennant may be me not watching. Is that superstitious? Is that superstitious?
Well, first of all, superstitions are dumb unless it pertains to me and the Red Sox. I think we already went through that. So, yeah, of course it's dumb. Of course it's dumb. You had no impact on them winning or losing. It would help if Swansea would actually get a base hit now and again.
Freddie Freeman's won for his last 13. He's won for his last 13.
I was going to say that because I know that's personally hurts you. He didn't. He just got shut down. And to be honest with you, did he even get up with the runner in scoring position while he was in the series?
Nope.
So, and you know your pitching's different when you get a runner on second base and you put a little pressure on the pitcher. You're more likely to get a fastball. I don't think you saw a fastball the whole game.
It was. I woke up at 12:48, turned the TV on, and why did I do that? Why would you even do that? So you're up in Atlanta. What's the feel? You're up there in Atlanta. What's the feeling up there? Is the feeling up there? Do you feel a vibe that they think the Falcons may be viable? Do you feel a vibe that they think the Braves may be viable, or do you feel a vibe that Atlanta doesn't care?
Well, I haven't. The last few days, all we've done is move equipment in to have this blood drive. Right. So I've been from the hotel we're staying at to the hotel where we're having a blood drive at. I literally haven't talked to a single person who lives here. It's
not good for the radio show, Galen. Not good for the radio show.
Well, I know, but I'll get another feel. I mean, I live in this bubble during Dragon Con where I really don't have any idea of what's going on. This year, I'll be curious as to. I think I'll get a better feel for how the world is reacting to this virus instead of people in their everyday life, and I think I'll get a much better sense of what people are feeling about their own safety and security.
I will talk later.
Dragon Con's usually a full-on 4-day party where people just lose their mind.
I mean,
and it'll be interesting to see how people react.
I mean a full-on 24-hour-a-day 4-day party.
Sure. Yeah. And the only way to classify it is you can't really understand Dragon Con until you go to Dragon Con, but it's the Super Bowl for for people who like science fiction.
Yes.
There aren't a lot of sports fans here.
Well, no, Comic-Con in San Diego is the Super Bowl. This is more like the college national championship game.
You're absolutely wrong. I mean, I've been to Comic-Con to help with their blood drive to increase it. Comic-Con is a corporate function. Dragon Con is for the fans. You cannot compare Dragon Con and Comic-Con. They are nowhere near.
No, I'm just comparing the size. Comic-Con's bigger than Dragon Con.
It depends on what you consider bigger. They have a lot more booths.
Yes, it's a bigger event.
But there are a lot more. It's more fan interaction here. This is a fan-based.
I tell you,
made by fans for fans.
The last year I was there,
Con is made by movie studios.
The last year I was there for Dragon Con, Bill Shatner was there signing autographs, and I watched because the line for where he was signing autographs, the room he was in was right next to the vendor room where you buy stuff and everything. So I'm watching. I go out and I'm watching the line, and I peek around the door to see, and this line must have been 250, 300 people long. And there's a sign there that says, "Picture sign, $75." It lists all the things you would do, right? He's not even looking up. People are handing it. He's signing it. He's handing it back up and moving on. I'm like, you spent $75 to get Bill Shatner with a Sharpie to sign your picture, and he didn't even acknowledge that you had given him $75. That soured me a little bit on these Comic-Con type deals. But I will tell you this, good news for the Ocala area. If you're interested in Comic-Cons, it was announced the Ocala Comic-Con, after missing last year because of COVID-19, is a go this year. And they've done a good job with the Ocala Comic-Con. You know, when they first brought it out, I was in my heyday when I was at Dragon Con every year. I kind of laughed and went, look, little people in Ocala trying to do a Comic-Con. That's so cute. It's actually endured, though. It's come around. It's grown every year. It's going to be at the World Equestrian Center this year. Congratulations to the people that run the Ocala Comic-Con.
Yeah, but again, Dragon Con is the epitome of fans.
It's so fun.
Comic-Con is such a corporate event. Everything is staged by, Sony or
Universal. Exactly.
Or Universal. Whereas none of that is. That's not what.
It's like the difference. So what you're saying is Dragon Con and Comic Con in San Diego are the difference between Halloween Horror Nights and Halloween. Because Halloween Horror Nights at Universal is very commercial, movie staged, and Halloween at Busch Gardens will scare the hell out of you, and it's more of the haunted house like you would do at the JC's.
I don't know. I've never been to either one.
Oh, yeah. One is a movie set. One's a movie set that's not very scary, and one's a haunted house that will scare the hell out of you.
Yeah, again, I haven't been there. I just know that Dragon Con is a much better experience for the fan than Comic Con. So they're not really comparable.
Well, there you go.
I mean, typically they get 150,000 people at Dragon Con. So
yeah, I've been there numerous times. I'm well versed in Dragon Con.
Yeah,
I was there.
Good football game this weekend up here too. So
I mean, is it really that good a football game? Let's be honest.
You really want to see these two teams and what their season's going to look like.
See, here's the thing. I couldn't tell you who was playing. How bad is that? I couldn't even tell you. I have no idea who's playing in the kickoff game for the SEC up at the Georgia Dome this year. No idea.
Really?
No, seriously, I'm 100% honest with you right now. I've been so involved with this election cycle and everything, I couldn't tell you. I know Florida's playing FAU. And look, here's how bad it is. I can't even tell you who my alma mater is opening the season with. How bad is that?
So you really don't know that Alabama is playing?
I had no idea Alabama was playing. No clue.
Okay.
Sorry. No clue. I've been involved with what's going on in Marion County, Ocala, with the craziness that is this election, and I've kind of let college football go to the wayside so far.
You really don't know that Alabama's playing Miami.
Is that this week? I knew Alabama was playing Miami, but that's this weekend up in Atlanta.
That's my understanding.
Yeah, I had no idea. That is a fantastic football game.
September 4th.
That is a fantastic football game.
That's what I said. I don't understand. I'm a little surprised. I mean, I think we want to know what both of these teams have. Both of them, Alabama, they have to roll out a whole new quarterback, right? And then Miami, for the first time in 7-8 years, has a returning starting quarterback. What's that going to look like? I think that's pretty important.
Yeah, if I would have probably been able to tell you Alabama was in the game. I'd have never had Miami. Nope. And I knew they were playing this year. I just didn't know they were playing this weekend.
But it's always SEC, ACC. It's just what Chick-fil-A like.
Well, no. There's been years where Georgia played Boise State one year in that game.
Yeah, but they don't.
While I was at Dragon Con, by the way, that happened.
They like two SEC schools. Remember Florida State played
Georgia? Yeah, I remember. I was at Dragon Con that year.
Auburn played was it Clemson?
Auburn played
Something like that.
No, it wasn't Clemson.
Something. Clemson played here one year. They like that SEC ACC match.
And the influx, the cross contamination, if you will, of the Dragon Con people and the SEC and ACC football people. Oh, it's a mixture. It's better than chocolate and vanilla swirl ice cream.
And what's great is they both look at each other like,
what the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah. You know, you got one dude in a khaki and a polo that'll have the elephant of Alabama on it. The guy next to him's in a full-blown
but I will tell you this.
Like, how could you wear that?
I will tell you this, going to break, the guys in the khaki shirts, khaki pants with the Alabama A on their shirts, they like how some of the women at Comic-Con dress. I mean, Dragon Con dress. I'll tell you that. They like how some of the women dress, or by the way, don't dress at Dragon Con. Hey, we need to take a break. We'll be right back after this timeout. 1370 AM, 96 point. WOCA, the source.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Are you or your loved one being released from a hospital and wondering how you'll manage? Inform your physician that you want to go to Palm Garden of Ocala at 2700 Southwest 34th Street for your rehabilitation. Palm Garden provides pain management, post-discharge follow-up, diabetic care, psychosocial support, and so much more. Plus, they even offer outpatient rehab. This award-winning care facility has a team of licensed professionals dedicated to enhancing your independence. Call 352-854-6262 today.
Are you wasting time boxing up packages and going to the post office or the UPS store? Are you tired of not knowing what you'll pay when you get there? Just Ship offers pickup service and flat rate packaging and postage rates, which takes the guesswork out of shipping while saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Ship at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Thursday, Galen from Life South joins us. He does every day. He's up in the Atlanta area getting ready for the major blood drive at Dragon Con. It involves all three states that they represent. And Galen, it's one of your major events, and hopefully it'll get us back towards the right way on the deficit that we've experienced through this pandemic.
Yeah, it always comes at a great time of year because we can, historically we've collected over 3,000 donors over these days, which makes a huge difference to our blood supply. That's why this year it's going to be. We're just not quite sure if we're going to do half of that. It's just a kind of a weird year, but we need every single unit we can collect over the next 4 days. So we're excited. We're all on the bus right now. There's about 100 and almost 200 people going to be working at the blood drive or associated with the blood drive, even at our donor center in Dunwoody. So it's exciting. We're ready to go.
I know exactly where that center is in Dunwoody. That's my stomping grounds right there, Chambly, Dunwoody. That's my area, pal.
You need to, next time you're over there, you need to stop inside. We remodeled it a few years ago, put a lot of money in that building, and we're pretty proud of it. So.
Well, Dunwoody's a nice area too, really nice area in that part of Atlanta. Hey, I'm looking at it has completely changed. Hey, I'm looking at I'm looking now because you ridiculed me. So now I'm looking at the opening week schedule, well, the second week of college football, and tonight the UCF Knights welcome into their stadium Boise State with UCF tonight.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun game. Again, it's one of those measuring stick games, and that's what you get early on, right? You want a good measuring stick because it can set the tone for the rest of your season. I think every Florida State fan is really looking to see how we look against Notre Dame. I don't think anybody gives us much of a chance to win that game, but we don't want to be as embarrassed. Right? You remember when Miami played Notre Dame a few years ago, and they're like, "Hey, Miami's going to win this game," and they ended up getting embarrassed.
They got boat raced by Notre Dame. Yes.
Yeah, and that's what we're hoping doesn't happen this year.
A game that could happen. A game that could happen in tonight. Tonight, this is a game that I'm going to watch. Now that I know it's happening tonight, I'm going to watch this game tonight because I want to know if there's actually a program being built, or if lightning was caught in a bottle last year, as Ohio State travels to Minnesota to open the season. And, Minnesota last year caught a lot of people by surprise. People didn't think Minnesota was that good. They went into Happy Valley, beat Penn State. But was Minnesota lightning in a bottle, or are they actually trying to build a program? And like you said, this is a measuring stick game for Minnesota against Ohio State.
Well, Minnesota's never been a consistently performing team. Staff coach Steve Rim. They've always had their peaks and valleys. And again, that's kind of all they can do. They happen to catch a couple of talented guys and they put a string together. But any winning season there is pretty good, right? 8 wins in Minnesota is you're moving on to Penn State, or you're trying to get back out to California. You're trying to move into a different direction.
Speaking of Penn State, got about a minute before we go to break. Speaking of Penn State, they open Saturday, 12 p.m., noon, against Wisconsin, at Wisconsin. The Big Ten's rolling out some football games in the first week.
Well, I think they have to, right? I mean, they're almost a forgotten conference. If you were to rank all of the Power 5, they're 5 in everybody's poll. Even people who are from Penn State.
Oh, I don't know. That the WIMP conference out west. That's a wimpy conference out west.
Yeah, but they have more people.
They do got more people. Yeah.
Oregon's going to could be a top 5 team this year. USC once in a while is pretty good, and the weather's better.
Well, the weather is better.
So yeah.
When we come back from break, Alabama Miami's a big game, but there may be a bigger game. There may be a bigger game this weekend involving the SEC and the ACC. We'll talk about that next. This is Ocala Talks. You're listening to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.